All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. This is going to be a lesson on these climate lockdowns. They've called it climate lockdowns, right? By where their claim is that they're trying to help the environment by stopping people from driving in and out of cities too often, right? Which eventually that would go as far as traveling in and out of cities as well anyway. And they're saying that people are going to have permits in order to travel in or out of certain parts of a particular country, man, or certain parts of a particular city is what they've initially started it off as, which we obviously know that Esau always starts one way and ends another, man. And I've got a few notes from a video that I saw on the internet about this, and then I'm going to bring out the scriptures as well. All right, and in fact, you know what? I'm going to bring out the scripture first, and then we can bring out the extra notes that I got on top of this particular topic, man. All right, so the prophecy is Second Ezra, in Second Ezra, the 15th chapter. Right, this is Second Ezra chapter 15 and verse 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able." So one of the things that they've did with this that they're planning to do, they're planning on starting this out in 2024, I believe. But one of the particular things that they're planning on doing with Oxford in particular is they plan to break Oxford down into 6 smaller zones, right? So Oxford's going to be, you already know what time it is when Esau mentions that number 6, man. They've got a infatuation with that number, man, as well as a few other numbers like 13 and 33, right? Let me carry on. So yeah, they're planning on. I wrote down that they're planning on starting this in 2024, right? It's called a 15-minute city because in each particular zone, the plan is that you're going to be able to travel through that zone in like 15 minutes, right? In the particular zone that you're going to be cordoned off into, man, right? But then in Australia, they haven't got the term 15-minute city. They've got the term 20-minute city. So what they're going to start calling it is minute cities, and then add whatever particular duration of time they want to put in front of that, man. But Yahweh's set men up long before this even happened to tell them that this kind of stuff was going to be happening. And what was you people doing, man? You were scoffing, you were laughing, you were chatting shit. You were thinking that nothing could ever go wrong in this community because it's so civilized, right? But eventually it's going to get cordoned off, and this is going to be one of the things that's going to cause sedition among men because people are going to have to apply for a permit, man. Under this rule, under this system, you have to apply for a permit, right? You're fined for leaving a zone too many times. You have to apply for a permit to be able to leave, and that permit is valid for up to 100 days. So 2/3 out of the year, they're pretty much saying now you can't really be doing whatever you want to do. You can't really go wherever you want to go, and you're going to get a fine if you travel too far out of whatever we say you want to be able to travel to, man. They already initially started that off during the whole thing that they was doing for the last 2 years, where they was making you not be able to leave the country without going through certain programs that they had in place, right? But now they're coordinating it off to a city, man, which is prophecy. I'm going to read it again. 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 17. "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, all right? For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid." So this is all you people's own fault, man, because you people are proud, man. Even right now, as I'm doing this lesson, a lot of you people are going around buying Christmas presents, making yourself broke when you ain't even got it like that in the pockets, man. You're making yourself broke, celebrating pagan festivals, man, that the book of Jeremiah, the 10th chapter, tells you not to follow, right? And these whole minute cities and stuff like that is going to cause for rise of gangs and stuff like that when these things start getting deep, man. It's going to cause for deliveries to be changed because they're going to be putting metal barriers in between cities, man. And I was thinking about that, and I was thinking when I was talking about this, I was thinking, where have I seen this before? And the movie In Time sprang to mind, which you can find it on YouTube, by the way. The movie In Time, and it pretty much shows people paying for food and stuff like that with their time, and like pretty much people don't have hardly any money. They're having to run around, right? Which obviously Esau's not trying to do it that way, but he's trying to make people have such little wealth that they're almost like they ain't got enough time, man. Right? They ain't got time to relax and do whatever they want to do. They're having to just continually work, man, and that's what that CBDC system will allow, man, because it's gonna make people not be able to have savings because their money will be erased and be on a duration. So they can put a duration on your money under that kind of system, man. They could even do it with people's wages, man. Never mind with benefits, that the so-called benefits that they give people. They can do it with people's wages too. They can do it with whatever they want to do it with under a CBDC system. And then ultimately, when they try and bring that Karogma, they'll be able to really delete it, man. And if you've got a problem with it, they'll be able to erase you out of that system, or erase your identity off the system and replace it with an identity that they want to put on you, right? Or just completely cast you out of this thing, or probably turn your ass off with the poison that's going to be within that particular thing, man. So for all these people out there that was scoffing and thinking that this is a game, well, Yahweh's showing now that it's not a game, isn't it? People are going to be tracked by smart cameras under this program, man. That's what I wrote down from the video that I saw as well. I was writing notes when I saw this, man. Right? And in the In Time movie, I mentioned that. I'll mention it again. In the In Time movie, right? There was a scene where the main character, who's played by Justin Timberlake, he's trying to leave out of the city to go to the main city center, to where he's trying to like steal from the rich to give to the poor. He's trying to steal the time or whatever to give to the poor, right? And he's having to pay pay a toll every single time he goes through there, man. Right? And that's the kind of thing that they're going to be pushing out on people, man. You're going to have to pay. They're already saying you're going to have to pay for a permit, but then they might say, okay, you pay. They might initially start off, okay, pay the permit, and then every time after that, it's £15 a go or something like that. They can put whatever price they want to put on it, man. They can put whatever price they want to put on it. But people, that's going to cause for sedition among men, because people are going to be like, nah, I don't like that. People already didn't like being told they couldn't come out of the country. People already didn't like being told that they couldn't come out of their house. But now people are being told that they can't even travel in their car wherever they want to go, man. That's going to start making people be angry, man, to the point where they're going to say, you know what, forget the MPs, forget the police. They're going to be rioting, man. They're going to be rioting, and they're going to be prepared to go carnal to the highest degree. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with a sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So when you zone off cities, man, when you zone places off, people are going to start building up their own little groups, man. And that's going to cause for people to be thieves and stealing in their own particular zones, man, in their own particular places. And you might say, oh, it's only started off with Oxford, and Oxford got 150,000 people, according to what they said on the news story, but it could be more or less or whatever, right? But it can also, that same program can be applied to several other places, man. There's places in the UK that have got way smaller populations than Oxford, you know? There's places in the UK that have got way less people than that, man. Birmingham's got like 1 million people. Wolverhampton's got 250,000. Places like Telford, they've got like maybe 50,000, you know? Leicester, that's got like maybe 100,000. London's got like what? Probably in the millions, man. Probably like 7+ million, man. And at Manchester and Liverpool, them two places have probably got like between 250,000 and 500,000. It can easily be applied to any city, man. To where every city's zoned off. And then there's going to be certain places that are going to be more dangerous than others. So they just leave those people to devour themselves, man. And that's where this prophecy comes into play. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with a sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. They're getting ready to get real grimy on people, man. But a lot of people are scoffed and thought it was a game, so Yahweh's not going to protect them, man. Yahweh's not got angels inventing ways that are going to guide men that are scoffers. He's got angels set up to guide men that wasn't scoffing though, that are going to be of the elect, and women that weren't scoffing that are going to be of the elect, and children that have got elect parents, man, that are also going to be of the elect themselves, man. And even a child that might not have parents that are of the elect, Yahweh is mighty to save them too. There could be a little child that don't have any parent that believes, man, but they're an Israelite, and they're still going to receive salvation because Yahweh is going to make them be covered, man. But for those people that were scoffing and talking that smack, they're going to get jacked up when these things start happening, man, and they're going to bug out. But this stuff is also going to cause for a lot more of the elect to the nation of Israel to wake up, man, to that this man that we've been saying is a real demon on the planet Earth is in fact exactly what we said he is, man. Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakar Kodash. Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. Shalom.